Hey, thanks for tuning into Leanne on Demand today. If you're listening in real time, it's Friday. I've probably just arrived home from the CEO Sleepout, but I wanted to record this conversation and I'll share more about the Sleepout with you next week. In yesterday's conversation, I had Steve Demedio on. We collaborated on the Red Carpet Campout. Of course, I couldn't pass up an opportunity. I've got the delightful Jade Miller. She's been on the show before. She's sitting right here, and Jade came along as one of our guests, a wonderful participant. So I'm just curious to hear your side of things. Steve and I spoke about collaborating together. What was your experience like over the last couple of days?
Look, I think it was a transformational experience for many of the participants. Being involved in something like this is just something that everyone in business should do, founders should do. Taking that time out was so crucial for these people, for all of us to have. There was amazing conversation. You two, Leanne and Steve did a fabulous job of balancing content with space for conversation. I think that there was lifelong connections made. It was a particularly good group. I think I've been in a few different scenarios that are similar, but I think there was something very special about spending a couple of days and spending that time. People started to get a bit more open, a bit more honest with themselves and each other, and a bit more fun sort of started to evolve. I think everyone was a bit nervous to start with, but building those connections really opened up conversations, and I think I've just got so much out of it, and I think everybody did.
I love that, and I didn't want this to read like kind of play like a testimonial, but it kind of sounds like that. So thank you, Jade, for that. I'm curious because even before I hit record, I'm like, Jade, do you want to do this? Because both, I had a big night. Like I'm not going to lie, it wasn't really part of the agenda, but when you're in front of a fireplace, there's great people, great conversations, and you're drinking great bottles of wine. Let's talk about that Spotify playlist. What was your favourite song?
Oh, yes. So we did do some good singing, hence why I'm a little bit croaky today. What was the banger? There was a few bangers, but I think the John Farnham. Yes. Everybody was into the John Farnham.
That's Freedom.
That's Freedom. That was interesting, actually.
Yeah.
That was sort of like a meaningful. People were yelling that as a mantra almost. Like it sort of came out as people were really meaning what they were singing. It was so fun.
I love that you brought that up because you're right. The second the chorus came up, that's freedom. Like everyone sung it as if that's what I want. Like that's what it's all about. And we spoke about autonomy yesterday as well, and where you currently are. Do you have that? Can you be spontaneous, and where that gap is? Any other sort of highlights over the last couple of days for you, Jade, or anything else you want to share?
I really enjoyed contributing. I think that was. I really just wanted to bring something special for people, and being able to do something that was artful and expressive. We put together, we talked about our visions and we wrote about our visions, and then we got to visualize our visions with metaphor and color and shape and symbol. And I think there was some really interesting insights that people had when they were thinking about their future in a bit of a different way. And I think when you do those sort of creative exercises, it really opens up different neural pathways. It's a different part of your brain, and you get to experience things just a bit differently. Think about things from a fresh perspective. So I really enjoyed that session, and I think people got a lot out of that. So that was really good.
Yeah, what I liked the most about that session is look, just flick through, and if anything just catches your eye, just take it and don't think about it. Use your intuition. And because I think we're often I've got to find the right thing. But I was like, I'm attracted to that color, and then the bees, I use the bees in mine, and in terms of they light, they buzz around, they get a lot of cool stuff done. And I would not have picked a bee out. I would not have written about it or thought about it, but just to see it was I was attracted by that. So it was a really fun exercise. Hey, thanks so much for being part of it. I hope you get a bit of rest time today. I'm sure all of us need a bit of downtime and need to reflect on what we went through. But yeah, you're a rock star. Thanks, Jade.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I feel nourished and full. So thanks, guys.